All right, Ebusia. I don't know if you see me. Just say onyankopon adom yen na ye ho ye. Me mo akwa ba sonkon Edoba Possible TV GH. And any day it can when you channel is with YouTube any day kwan share be sure so be je bre no hwe video no share like, comment, subscribe. We are no share content no and also recommend the channel no ama onu even so any videos ni bi. I meeting Eddie Francis Achu aka Possible. You can edit here for my say my go e my Ghana mu ne nya bi no e che me no ka say audio ba ko bi add drop. Ye mo rem ni tin say my audio.
Speaking boldly.
You have spoken too.
Let's
Kojo Yankson has spoken too.
Let's get into this aspect of the conversation. It interests me because
Adongo has spoken too.
You are part of Nananum. Let's put it that way. We've had the flag bearer of the UPP, United Progressive Party, Odike, who recently spoke about Galamsey and how it is giving us a beating, how it's polluting our natural resources, especially our water bodies. And he cited Nananum and said, guess what? Some of you, the chiefs, are in there. There was huge backlash.
You see, I love it.
And recently, his office was vandalized. He himself escaped being thrashed or maybe even shot by a whisker. The question is, why should that happen?
That shouldn't happen.
Do the traditional authorities even have the right to banish him?
Traditional authorities can banish you. So for those who do not understand the culture within which we operate, all land in this country is vested in the traditional authorities, right? And that is why, before I answer Odike's question, I want to speak to Oboshi Sai Kofi. Oboshi, we are yasan to awati. Yo jibo, yo pakpa jibo. Ganyo bi jibo. None yo fe ye airport wa fe wale. Wolo efen wana obomoden ajiebo iwo na shika shoboshi ogbo okpete the lands including the ones at the airport which we hear are being given. I love Nigerians, but no Nigerian will be so stupid as to give their airport to a Ghanaian to manage. I have given the document to your producer. He's afraid to put it on the screen. He's afraid.
I do not think that is the case.
No, I have given it to him. He's afraid to put it on the screen.
But we have editorial policies that we must.
But let me come. So check
anything on.
Yeah, check it. You can check it right now. Right. Those lands at the airport are for Ghanaians. The management capacity and capability for the airport is within the Ghanaian ambit. Ghanaians are hospitality.
So the country is basically up for sale.
I wouldn't say the country is basically up for sale because you cannot go and do that stupidity in Adansi. It happened some years ago that when they dug all the gold out of Adansi, they did not even fix our roads. They tried. They did what they could. But Adansi did not speak. Adansi did not speak because I come from a big room. My chief is Nana Otumfour, a learned professor, a wise man. He speaks in soft tones and he tells me to be fearless, but to only speak the truth. When the gold was taken out of Adansi, Adansi was not developed. Other parts of Ghana were developed. Adansi did not complain. Otumfour did not complain because Adansi is part of the Ashanti region.
Let's.
But let me come to the crux of the matter.
And as you come to the crux,
Oboshi's thing that I said, Oboshi has been taken off a board because he was fighting to ensure that our heirloom does not go to foreigners. So you see, we have people who have actually done great things for this country, and we cannot denounce them because no matter what they do wrong, it will be like in Zimbabwe, where they had a great leader who did great things for the country, but got to a point where he made things fall apart.
Let's stay on that trajectory. So SIC, you say there is state capture. What exactly have you seen? What have you heard? That makes
it is not what I've seen or heard, but I'm going to talk about the indolence of journalists as well, and the fact that some of the journalists are sellouts, and I will not name you. There are people, and I named 4 here, that are doing a great job. For every radio or TV station I go to, I can speak truth quietly and clearly to all of them, and I can find those 4 too. That is not to say others will not do good. But there are journalists who only look at their belly. And that means if somebody in a position of authority wants to sleep with your wife, you will cover her in oil, you will dress her and serve her on a tray to him. Because your duty as journalists And I trained as a journalist before going to study film and television production, and I'm now doing my PhD as well. Your duty is to first dig, seek, search, retrieve. After you retrieve, don't only look at the facts, analyze the facts. For facts can be used to paint untruths. So when you get the facts, analyze the facts. So you dig, you seek, you search, you retrieve, you find the facts, you analyze the facts. It is only after you have analyzed the facts that you now are ready to have a story to give to your editor. For your editor, not just to correct your spelling, because the computer can correct your spelling, but to correct your context.
Right.
And set the context in a manner as to warn people of what is yet to come. Call people to action, to what they need to do. And out of those people you have called to action, find your new set of public servants.
So let me just ask you this, maybe the final bit. You've spoken about rot. What is the rot you've seen at the SIC? Let's call you a whistleblower.
The rot is not at the SIC.
You are aiding.
The rot is not at the SIC because the managers of the SIC who have spoken to me, because that CEO who came from America is afraid that if he speaks about it, they will take the job away from him. Why are you afraid? You're paid a wage. You're paid a wage. Your wife has a job. You must say, listen, in the history of this country, the state capture, essentially, go and read the Constitution. All public companies, all state-owned enterprises should engender the prosperity of other state-owned enterprises. Why? Because they generate income to do the work of state.
Right.
It is only when a state-owned enterprise cannot deliver the service that you give it to others, because we must ring fence the work of state for those state-owned enterprises, so that if you work at GBC, which is a state-owned enterprise, the National Commission on Civic Education, if they decide we want to advertise on Joy, will still have to advertise on GBC. Why? Because when the president decides to give the station the State of the Nation address, and Lord Comey has come over to check to make sure everything is in order at the studio, the president will not come to Joy FM. He will not go to Wontumi FM. He will not go to Peace FM. He will not go to City FM. Where will he go? Like the Queen goes to the BBC, not ITV. Where would the president go?
To the GBC.
Why?
Well, it's the national broadcaster.
That's it. And it is owned by the state. So you who work for government, who would take money away from government because you cannot take a bribe from government and give it to somebody in the private service because it is easier to get a kickback from there, you are only alive because it is illegal for you to be shot. What is wrong with us as a people? What is wrong with us? So we lay with our wives and they see what we do, and our wives cannot look at us even if other men have had them for wives before and say, now I am loyal not just to values but to you, because with you I have these children. If you do wrong and we are in China, not only will you be shot, all of us will be impoverished. If you do wrong and you are in Japan, you will commit suicide. Why do you get away with it in Ghana? Is it because we're in a state of stupor and squalor, or is it because all the men have no testicles and we are looking for a new Yasantua? What is it? Tell me.
At least you're speaking.